Okay, I'm gonna do a quick explanatory thing now on how to do these painties. So, open the base, which I hope you've saved at this point. Let's see. Let's do it to this one. Okay. So this is just a normal layer. You want to add something to it. So like hairproof, glasses, whatever, clothes. Draw it on a new layer. I just use the round brush in Photoshop, which should be the same across both platforms. I have the flow set to 85. It really doesn't matter. Just try and match Kiwi's style or something. It's kind of hard to match her style, so don't worry about getting too close. When you shrink it down, it'll look better if it doesn't look perfect from super far away. So anyway, so there's a simple hairproof thing. Whatever. So I'm locking in the layer, so I'm only coloring in it. Turn my opacity down more. Oh, okay. Right now my selection tool is set to current layer, which is really good when you're doing stuff to the painty base. But right now I want it on all layers. Let's turn that down more. Okay, cool. Another thing I've noticed is that in Photoshop, at least, this airbrush tool, this I think acts more like a paint tool size brush, which is what Kiwi uses. So I can't do everything with it. I don't know how to use that type of brush very well, but I use it on and off when I'm doing this stuff to try and get the same look. But I'm not going to spend too much time on making this look perfect because I just want to show you guys how to organize everything in Photoshop. But basically I shade this shit to look as close as I can to the rest of the base. If you're not very good at digital painting or drawing or whatever, another thing you can do is, that I do a lot just when I can't get her style down, is take another piece of the base off to do it. So there's like a really quick hair floof thing, whatever. So it's normal layer. But yeah, here. So if you can't really draw very well, another thing you can do is copy like a piece of the painting where there's some fluff that you might want, and you paste it on a new layer. And so I'm like, this looks like it might be a good hair fluff. And you can take them from any of the starting bases. That's perfectly okay with the website. They don't take fluff from like a wicker beast or you know, any special species or costumes or anything like that. That's not cool. That won't make it through the queue. So anyway, so there's like a fluff. I'm like, that's like a quick, shitty way of putting it there. But then you want to make it blend in. So this makes it so you don't really need to know how to draw as well. Just need to like clean it up. So bring this down low. So I'm just like selecting this color that's on the base to make it match, and using low opacity to blend it in. Another thing you can do is just like literally just erase it with a soft brush in some areas. There. But yeah, basically you'd clean it up till it looks like it's actually attached to the head. This part's a little... Oh yeah, you can also do this. Use the smudgy tool. I look kind of crappy from close up, but when you back away, it's... Like I said, these things get turned down to so small, 400 pixels, that even though the base is enormous to start, some of the stuff that looks crappy from this size will look fine from far away. So yeah, so like make sure you look at your stuff like smaller. So it's like, oh, that looks like kind of like it's there. So that one's better than my drawn one because I just did it really quick. So whatever. These are on these layers. So now you want to color it, but they're on different layers. So you select the layers, and then you merge it, which it's there, but I just use Control E. So let's just pretend like this one doesn't exist. It's ugly. So there, now it's together. Now you want to color it. So I want my shading to be kind of purple, because that's like my favorite. Purple goes with everything. Okay, so I set this to a clipping mask, and then I make it lighten, and then you kind of turn it down until see like that looks kind of good, and then you do the coloring on another clipping mask. If you're using a program that doesn't have clipping masks, another thing you can do is just like select this layer. In Photoshop it's Control or Command depending on what OS you're using, and then you click the layer and it selects the opacity, and then you can just make a new layer like this and just fill in that thing, and you'll have like the shape. So this does the exact same thing as this. So you just set it to lighten. This one's at 51%, so this and this does the same thing. It doesn't need to be a clipping mouse. This is just faster if you have a program that does it. Okay, and then I do overlay for the color. So fill it white. I don't know. It's a white dog. And then just on the color layer, see now it's the hair's up here. Do all your colors on here. So I don't know. Just making this up, so maybe her hair's gray. And then also, if you like notice something after the fact that you want to fix, I keep my originals, like I'll copy it and then I'll merge another one and keep the older version in a folder. Oops. So that I can go back and forth between the edited and unedited versions. So anyways, I'm just doing something quick. I'm not even trying to make this look like fur, really. Oops. Oh, okay, now that I'm on the coloring layer, when I do, Alt's a shortcut to do the eyedropper. But I had it set to all layers, so I don't want it on all layers, so I just want the colors on this layer, so I'll get the white I put down there, and then the gray, and it won't like copy all the colors that are in the shading and stuff, so very useful for these. Okay, so there's some, let's make it even at least. Oh, I did it backwards on the side. Okay. So then I'm here, and maybe I'm like, well, I don't really like these dots on the nose, but I've already merged the layer. But you can go back to that layer, and you can still edit stuff on it. You can select the colors, so it was brown, or it's at a gray color. And you can, you know, fix stuff now. So I was like, oh, I decided I want to make this nose different. You can still edit stuff. Underneath everything, which is pretty cool. So just making her have a different nose. Her. I don't know. Whatever this is. Apparently I gave her a gender. So yeah, you're not, even if you do like merge them all, you're not completely limited when you set up your layers properly. I don't know what I'm doing here. There. I changed the nose underneath. Okay. So there, she has different underwear. Ooh, it's cute. Okay. What else? The eyes. This is another part people have problems with. Okay. So let's make this sclera. Whoa, I'm on the wrong layer. Blue. Back to the color layer. Because this character's got white fur. Oh, I don't know. Bright ass pink eyes. Okay. Gonna do pupils. So I usually do this part too. And kind of blend it in, because that's how it is on the Paintie. Oh yeah, so there's these little imperfections all over on the Painties. Oh, hi Goomba, my cat just joined us. And like this stuff. And a good way to fix that sometimes, which also might make them more obvious, but might make it easier to clean them up, whoops, is to take the painting layer, the main one, here, I'll just, oh, save your file. Okay, so these weird like opacity things all over the place. You're not going to see them too much when it's small, but they bother me, so if you duplicate the layer, merge them together, and then like add a background layer that's white so you can tell what you're doing. Or just fill, whatever. That's my cat. Okay, so there's these like little smudgy bits all over. I like to go in and erase them just so they're clean. But you saw I duplicated these and merged them together just so that there's not see-through parts that shouldn't be, because they're usually there just from how Kiwi draws. She must always use low opacity brushes and never have a completely 100%. Or maybe it's something with paint tool size. I have no clue, but yeah. So there's these little smudgy bits. I like getting rid of them, but they're not super important. So anyways, that's just that. Okay, so back to this. I gotta make them clipping masks again. Okay. Coloring. coloring the eyes. necessarily. I don't know, whatever. I'm just making it blend in a little better if I can. It's ridiculously bright pink was probably a bad choice for something really quick. So anyways, there, pretend they look better. Okay, so there's no like shines on the art by default, so you gotta add them in. I just do it on a normal layer above to start. This is how I do them. Okay. So you try to like follow the part that's kind of there with that shading. Make a bloob, little blob. Okay. This might not make sense until I start doing more. So there, that's good. Now you go to the eraser, make a big erase the bottom. Make sure this is a clean shape. Make your brush manageably sized. Okay, so that set it to overlay. Then I'll make another one. That's kind of cool. I don't know, but I just kind of mess around with them, so usually end up with one on like normal like this. And then on another layer, add a shiny. And you can just like go ridiculous on these things, like, oh, it's so sparkly. And then do the same thing to this. Oops, don't throw it in the trash. I don't know. Soft light's another good one. Duplicating them over and over is another thing I do. Add some more shine to here. I don't know. Mess around. Oh, it's so shiny. Okay, and then and I usually do one with little white highlights on it too, so really strong ones. Make sure they're doing the right thing on each layer. Oh, there. So now the eyes are super shiny. Sometimes I go even farther with this too, and I'll have like another layer on the very top that's completely detached from everything, and I'll just paint like completely, just add things in, you know? Like it's a flat picture. So like I wanna make this. Oh, whoops, set to overlay. I was wondering why that was weird. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. Okay, ignore that. So, back to what I was showing you. Okay, so you go on top, you're doing your own thing up here. And you want to, like, just not have to worry about what's going on, so I'll just, like, do some digital painting on top to hide Goomba. My cat has her face, like, right in my face right now. She's sniffing me. You're so cute. I know, I love you. I do. So, yeah, if you wanted to, like, add more shape to the eyes, or maybe you wanted this look more 3D-ish down here. Just some little tiny touches that you want to do at the end. That's what I end up doing sometimes. Yes. There. So, even though that's like not much, You can still see it from really far away. It's pretty cool. At the end, when I'm done with my painty, so pretend like I did all coloring, you know, usually I do stuff like this. Oops. Sorry, I'm all over today. Okay. Back to current layer. There we go. Okay, so when I do markings and stuff, I draw like lines with the fur. The direction. And it's usually pretty obvious on Kiwi's art which direction that is. Sometimes I do this, blur it. Doesn't always look good. Sometimes like after you do like the hard lines like this, it's good to just go in and go like brush like this and then just like kind of soften them up so like just a little like hints of the softer brush show through. I don't know, it makes things look like they blend in more. Okay, so let's say I finished all that and I did it everywhere and colored the paws and everything else. So I like doing this at the end so I don't see any little strays hanging out. This one's pretty good, but sometimes there's some like white pixels and or like really dark black pixels that are around the edges, and sometimes you'll see like weird shading mishaps when you do this and you'll have to go in and erase it. So I just do a layer on the back that's, you know, switch between black and white and erase that stuff and fix it. Luckily this one doesn't have it. Sometimes I'll notice it, because I don't do this, after I upload the painting, that there's like a weird line at the bottom of the painty or like some black like foggy thing from shading and not having something clipped or doing something up here and not realizing it. Okay, so then you turn that off and you make the image 400 pixels high and you save it as a PNG and don't replace the original base. There we go. It's good. And then you gotta painty and upload whatever the shit you just did. So, but make sure you don't save over your giant picture. You want to save it. That's it.